Hey YouTube, it's Manny. So I used to display my PC on stream, but now the way my desk is set up and everything like that, you can see right here, my Lian Li dynamic is behind my monitor so it doesn't get displayed. So I would love to display it. However, this, if you look here, this is kind of like how my camera is displayed, roughly. That's where it's set up. Notice this nice blank wall here? Wouldn't it be nice to have the computer right there on the wall? Well, unfortunately, the dynamic is not wall mountable unless I decide to put a shelf there, and that's just not going to look cool. So instead, what I did was I got myself a Thermaltake P3. So this is wall mountable. You guys probably all seen these before. It's been around for a while, but I figured that's going to be sweet. Mounted right there. Now, all I'm going to do is, all I bought was the case. I'm going to actually take all the parts out of the Lian Li Dynamic, and I'm going to put them in there. This is a white case, as you can see. Everything's white.
So I built my wife a white case, and I really liked how the white looked. The colors really pop, especially the LEDs.
However, as you can see, all my parts in the Lian Li are black. So what we're going to do is, eventually over time, we'll replace them with white parts. I'm not a big YouTube content creator, so I don't have companies throwing parts at me to make videos on their parts and stuff like that. It would be nice if it did, but I don't. So over time, I'm going to replace things like, going to get a white power supply unit, maybe white memory modules. I'll do something with my 3080 Ti. I'm actually thinking of water cooling, putting a custom loop in the whole thing, and that would actually make everything look really cool. In the meantime, I was actually thinking of taking off the shroud and spray painting that white, just so it like pops and stuff like that. So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're going to unbox the P3. I'm gonna show you all the pieces that come with it, so you guys get a good idea of everything that comes with it. And then I'm gonna quickly take the parts out of the Lian Li and put them into the P3. Now, keep in mind, this is not a complete computer build because I don't believe I have to take anything off the motherboard other than the graphics card. So I'm going to take the whole motherboard off, plop it in. I believe even, like, I've thought about how I'm going to do the cooling and I have a NZXT Z73 cooler. It's a 360 radiator. So I think I don't even have to take that off. I think I can leave it on and just mount it. So if I do have to change things up, I'll show you stuff like that, but it'll be pretty quick and things like that. So, all right, on to the video. All right, so we're gonna unbox this bad boy. This is the Thermaltake P3. It does come with a riser cable. I believe the riser cable is a PCIe 3.0, which I actually bought a replacement of 4.0 because it's gonna work with my 3080. All right. This bad boy up. Nice package in here well with a lot of styrofoam. All right, how are we gonna open it? Put it on the side here like this. We'll cut open the wrong spot. I got the wrong spot. There we go. Alright. This is the glass. Oop. Cardboard behind the glass. The glass itself is wrapped. Put this over here carefully, so on the chair. More cardboard. And here's the case. So this is the back side, probably. It actually comes in another piece here. Alright, this is one piece of the case. This is probably the back of the case. So you have to assemble the case. So that's just one part of the case. Like I said, that looks, actually I don't know if it's the back or the front. I'll put that over here for now. Styrofoam. And all the little parts. Look, there's quite a bit of assembling to do for this case. So let's get to it. So these are obviously the extensions for the glass. We got feet. We'll probably use these at first, but we'll probably take them off afterwards because we are going to wall mount it. And then this looks like, actually not sure what this is. It's probably something to do with the power supply. We'll go through everything and look at it afterwards. We have a plate of some sort. This is obviously the back part. I don't know if this is actually. I don't actually know what half this stuff is for. We'll figure it all out as we put it together. And then you have instruction manual, which we definitely will need. Here's the PCIe card. I should say cable. Like I said, this is a 3.0 from what I gather, so it's probably not going to work for me. All right, let me get all this cleaned up, and we'll start assembling the case. All right, so we have it. Everything. We have everything. All the parts out. This is the main board, the main case. This is the case itself. This is all it is. So let's prep it first. We're gonna flip it over and open the back panel up. So you can see right here, there's 6 screws. We're gonna take these 6 screws off and open the back panel up, and then open the case up. The directions show you to lift it straight up. You actually have to pull it this way a little bit first to unhook it. It's not easy. Actually, which way did it go? This way, sorry. It goes that way. Pull. If it doesn't work one way, pull the other, and then you take off the back. Now, in here, you have a screen. This goes on the right here. Back panel. All right. So now we have our cables. A couple hard drive cages, which we're going to take the hard drive cages off. I don't have hard drives, and I don't plan on using them. So this will actually free up some room for cabling back here. So we'll take these out. There's one little screw that holds the back of the hard drive in, so take that out. So, I can show you with this one. So see right, I can't see. So right there is the screw. Just gonna take that screw out, and it comes out. There's 2 of them. Like I said, I'm not using them. Take those out. All right, next thing we're gonna do is install the PCIe platform, I think I would call it. So you flip it over. We want to find the top of it. Obviously, the top is where it says Thermaltake. We're going to lay it back down flat. Make sure we don't squish the cables. Maybe I should have left the cables hooked in. All right. So this is the PCIe platform. So this is actually going to be on. We're going to screw this in. So you can see where this is right here. It's basically going to fit right above that here. You're just going to line it up to the holes that are present. There's 4 holes. There's 3 on the bottom, 1 on the top that you can't see. And I am using, you can see this type of screw. I don't know if it goes, there we go. So this type of screw is what we're using, just so you know, which it looks like mostly we're going to be using these screws. I can't get it in focus. Hexagon head screws tops. All right, so let's get these screwed in. All right, so that's on there now. All right, so next thing we do, we're going to install the, this is the PCI bracket that goes on the back here. It just goes, so there's two sides to it. This is the inside, and this is the outside. So this is the outside, this is the inside. We're just going to basically put it here, and it lines up with 2 screws. There's a few screws it lines up with. But on the bottom here, there, it clicks in a little bit. And we'll start with the 2 screw holes on the bottom, right here. So that's partly assembled. So this is the tray, and this is the brackets. And the next thing we have is the riser cable. So as I said, this is the riser cable that came with the kit. I'm not going to use it. It's a 3.0 riser cable. I want a 4.0 since I have a 3080 Ti. I purchased this one. I will put a link in the description to the one I bought. It is basically link up. With everything I read, this works well with the Thermaltake P3. So this is the bracket that this gets attached to. So essentially you have these standoffs right here, and that's actually what's going to hold the PCIe in, right like this. You just line up the holes and you put a couple screws in. So when you're setting this up, make sure you actually put it the right way. Obviously the lock goes in the back. Make sure you line this up correctly when you do it. Remember the small port in the front, the bigger port in the back with the locking mechanism in the back. So this is going to go in like this. We're going to attach it like this. I haven't tightened it yet. We'll just line it up here so it lines up. Tighten the back one. All right. So it's gonna fit in like this. I'm not like, I wish it was a 90-degree bend for this PCIe bracket. Maybe there are ones that has a 90-degree bend, but you're gonna have to bend the cable. You're gonna have to bend the cable a little bit to get this, because it's gonna sit in like this. And maybe I might have bought a slightly too larger one. We'll see if I have to get it back there. But I'm not gonna install this just yet. It's basically gonna fit in one of these holes here. And I'll install it once I get once I figure out where the graphics card will sit. I'll install it. So we'll have to get the motherboard in here first. Then we'll see where the graphics card is. But that's basically everything else set up. So we'll put this to the side for now. All right, the next thing we're going to install is the motherboard standoffs. That way we can actually put the motherboard on. Now, if you look closely, it might be tough. I can lift it up a little bit. There are actually like little letters. You can see like there's like a little A right there. So I don't know. Those essentially the A's. I was looking at the board. The A's seem to match up with my standoff, so that's what we're going to use. Now it comes with a bunch of standoffs, which is standoffs, and it comes with I don't know if they typically have this. It's a little screw head thing that you put on the standoffs. You actually screw them in, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in, all 9 of them. All right, let's now put the motherboard on. Now I do want, so this is the top, the bottom. I do want the pump part of, I want this to be pumping in the bottom, not the top. So I'm probably gonna have to move this over a little bit to get it lower, but I don't know. I might have to actually install this with a high loop. I don't know, we'll see in a second. All right, and there's the motherboard installed. I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to figure out how I want to do the I/O, which way I want to put it, and see how that works. All right, here's what I decided. It's not a great situation, but since I am actually vertically mounting my GPU, I will have enough clearance, I believe. So I am going to mount it this way. There's not too much stress on this. It's a little pressure, but I think it looks the best, and it's most likely going to save my radiator longer, because, well, the pump, I should say, because the pump is going to be always pumping liquid. If I have it up, at some point, some of the liquid evaporates from inside the radiator, and eventually you're pumping air, and that actually ruins the pump that's in here. So I'm gonna mount it this way. I will have to take my fans off and remount them so that the cords are on the inside to tuck in here. So I'm gonna do that really fast, and then show you guys in a minute. All right, so I'm gonna first though, before I reverse the fans, I'm gonna install the radiator, get the radiator plugged in, and then we'll use. All right, there you have it. I'm gonna change the orientation of the fan so that the cable's on the inside, and then we'll get back. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is clean up some of these cables. Probably not gonna fix them all yet, but a lot of these, like the front cables and the AIO cables, I'm gonna actually plug them into where they go to get them kind of out of the way and cleaned up. So I'll do this really quickly. We're just gonna put everything in the back. And that's most of the motherboard cables all set up. So what we got left now is obviously the PCI riser, and let's do the, let's get some more cables done. We'll actually install the power supply. All right, so the power supply can be mounted in a couple different ways. One way is, it's the way I'm gonna do it. You can actually mount it flat like this. So it comes with two different back brackets. It depends on if you're gonna mount it like this. Since I have the PC riser bridge on, I can't mount it that way. So how I'm gonna mount it is this way. It gets mounted like this. Actually like this, I believe. Just like that. So that the power supply, now I stripped the label off of mine here, so it has one on the side, but this is the fan's gonna blow down, so it's gonna be mounted in like this. Essentially that just goes on it like that. So let's get the first, this first bracket in here. So it also mounts in, I don't know if you can see, like this way. So I originally thought it kind of mounted with a power supply on this inside, but it doesn't. It actually mounts this way. The power supply just sits on this lip here. So when we mount it, there's several different places you can mount it here, here. There's 4 different places you can mount it. It all depends on how far back you actually want your power supply to sit. I'm gonna pick mine right here. I don't have a very long power supply, it's not a very big one, so. I believe you just slide it in and out. It's actually gonna mount to there, like that. Now, funny thing though is, you notice it's a white case, but these brackets are all black. It'd be cool, like if I ever get a white power supply, I may spray paint these white, just so it like all blends in. This might have been a mistake. Trying to get this screw in here is going to be tough. I probably shouldn't have put the power supply in first. Now let's take it out. All right, that's not an easy fit. I guess maybe I could have left the power supply in there and screwed this in. Yeah, I think best bet is leaving the power supply in there, putting this bracket in, and then securing it. That way. All right, there's a power supply. Now we're gonna put the PSU cables in. Now I will eventually get white ones, but I'm gonna use the ones that were in my last PC, just for now. I do, unfortunately. I'm going to use a black. I didn't have a, I didn't buy a custom cable for the SATA, which is for the AIO. All right, there's most of the cables all set up. Still got to do the graphics card. I think that's all I have left. And then I should be able to post it. All right, let's get that set up in a second. All right, so I was just looking at this. Unfortunately, the screws for the PCI riser card get screwed from the bottom up. Guess what's in the way? So I'm gonna have to take this off in order to get the riser card in. I should have tested where I actually wanted to mount it, but I wanted to see everything installed first. So unfortunately, I got to take power supply off. I can leave the front bracket on, I think. I have to take the power supply off, and then I can install it. So I think I can just take off this back one. So now we're going to install the riser card, cable, into there. So it's going to kind of go like this. So I'm going to install it in the second slot. I already determined where I want to put it. right, now we can put the power supply back on. There we go. All right, so then this is just going to get plugged into here. All right, and then my graphics card should sit snugly right there. The Zotac 3080 Ti. Actually, I gotta take these two off first. And there's a little locking mechanism in the back that you slide shut after. All right. So, other than some cleaning up in the back, oh, won't power on without these, right? All right, now, I believe that's mostly everything set up. I will have to straighten some things out, but for now, that looks good. Let's get it plugged in, see if it powers up, posts, and everything works. Shouldn't just post, it should actually run, because remember, I just took the old motherboard, all the old parts out, and put them in here, so it should run. All right, it's obviously I just have it put together now. I don't have the feet on, I don't have it wall mounted, I don't have the back plate on or anything like that. I simply plugged it in. We want to make sure that I do have everything hooked up and plugged in before I try to neaten all the things up. So what we're going to do is actually just press power, and hopefully it boots. You'll see the two monitors. Looks good so far. This will look much nicer with all white parts in there, but this is what I have for now. Maybe I'll change out the fans first, power supply, memories, stuff like that. And we got the horse. All right, looks like it's booting. Actually, turn this way a little bit, right, to see. There it is, it booted up. Nice. All right, so that's all set. All right, let's get it back over on the table and clean it up and finish up. I'm probably gonna put the feet on for now until I get the wall mounting stuff. All right, we got it back over here, neatened up all the cables. Doesn't look too bad back here. We're gonna put the back plate on, put the feet on. I am gonna wall mount it, but the wall mount didn't come in yet. It's been delayed another day or so. I'm gonna wall mount it. It's actually gonna be wall mounted right about there, roughly somewhere. All right, let's get the glass plate on first, and then, well, actually the standoffs for the plate, and then we'll put the back on. All right, so how this is gonna work is you get 4 of these. You gotta take the screw off the end. This is the part that goes into the chassis. This part holds in the glass panel. So we'll leave that on for now. But essentially we're just gonna screw in all 4 of these. There's holes back in here that we're gonna fit in here. And just push it through the hole and then screw it into the... But if nothing else I've learned from this video is actually the order of operations that you need to put this stuff together. I think it's good for you guys, anyone watching this video that is thinking to get one of these cases, learn from my mistakes. I certainly made a bunch of them in this video. Now we can put this back on. Make sure it's on the side, and we pull it this way. Make sure it locks in. Actually, I can do this now. Oh, this is nicer. Now with the standoffs, I can do that and actually line this up easier on its back. There we go. That's another good reason to have these standoffs on. You can lay it flat like this. It was probably better off putting the glass standoffs on first. That way, once you have the motherboard in and you want to flip it up, you can work on it and do whatever you need to do back here and not have issues. So yeah, I would recommend putting these on first. I did not. Live and learn. I almost feel like having these on and the feet on first would be very beneficial to success of doing this, or doing it quicker than I did. There's a lot of wobbling and... All right. There you have it. All right, before you actually attach, so this is tempered glass, this is metal, you'll end up scratching it. It does come with these little rubber grommets. We're gonna stick these on the inside these little holes here. Just want to kind of, so I didn't take the plastic all the way off yet. I just peeled back the corners a little bit so I can actually work on these corners. Remember, this is tempered glass, Real strong here, not so strong here, so be very careful when you're putting it down like this. And make sure you put these all on the same side. This is going to be on the inside. All right, now that that's done, we have one more set of like little rubber grommets, and what you're going to do is we're going to take these off. And we're going to put this little rubber grommet in here. All right, so this is going to go on the outside to protect the glass from this piece. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew all these. I'm going to peel off the inside piece. So the rubber grommets on this side are the inside. I'm going to peel this off. And I'm just going to put it like this. And we're going to screw it in like so. Here are the feet. Everything for this case is very sturdy, very strong. So we're going to make sure you put the feet this way. Looks like it's front heavy anyway, so we're going to put the feet on that way. And we're going to use, these are the screws we're going to use. I don't know if you can see that, if that helps. That's the screws we're going to use. There's 8 of them, 4 per foot. It's kind of a nuisance because if you look, it goes in through here, so the screw actually sits like here and like that, so you got to kind of drop all the screws in. There you have it. There's my Thermaltake P3 with all my existing parts in it made. It looks nice enough right now. Like I said, I could make it a lot nicer with the white parts and everything else like that. I'm gonna, over time, clean it up and fix it up. You know, new cables, custom cables and things like that. So I did learn a bunch of things. Is the order of operations. I hope anything, if you watch this video, it's probably gonna be a long one. I'm gonna try to speed up things from there. But there are certain things you have to do. Power supply probably goes in last. Put the standoffs on early. Put the feet on early. I think that'll definitely help out. Even if you're going to wall mount it, put the feet on. Definitely help with the installation. And the glass panel standoffs would help out a lot because you can lay it down, not worry about smashing your motherboard or anything like that. And you can work on the back side. That's all I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you'd like to see more content like this, and please smash the subscribe button. Remember, you can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'd be happy to answer any questions live on stream. Till next time, YouTube, take it easy.